Welcome to Life Planning 101, brought to you by Kennedy Financial Services in Eastland, Texas. Tune in every week as we share important information to help you and your family live life on purpose. Insurance, investments, legacy and tax planning, and much more. All covered now on Life Planning 101.
We're here with another episode of Black and White Market Minute. And we have Matt Ervin, Aaron Kennedy here with our weekly market update. Aaron, tell me what's going on out there.
This market felt like it moved all over the place this week, but it really didn't do anything. Today's kind of a negative day, but for the week, the S&P 500 was down about 1.25. Overseas market was down about 1%. Small caps were down 0.5%. If you were trying to get safe, if you were in gold, you were about flat, just down a smidgen. So the market was pretty calm. And that surprises me. It feels like it was all over the place.
Well, from a point-to-point standpoint, right? But
yeah.
The roller coaster over middle was maybe a little bit uncomfortable. But again, we look at longer term.
Yes. I think the market's still trying to digest everything that's happening right now. I think the news coming out is a little bit more positive than what people are thinking. And I'm coming from this in a very, very strange way. So we are waiting for the Fed to cry uncle on interest rates. And they've flat out come out and said that they're not going to save the market this time. So as long as we're having this controlled descent, the Fed's going to keep raising interest rates, period. One thing they do keep talking about is employment. And at the very beginning, they did not raise interest rates when inflation was starting to heat up because of employment. And that's what they were trying to do, is keep the market juiced. And that, number one, is going to be the fastest way for the Fed to start being accommodative in our economy, is if something happens to our workers.
Unemployment, job creation.
Yes.
Right, okay.
Well, guess what? It's happening. You kind of got to dig. But, we had unemployment figures come out today, and better than expected, 390,000 people found a job. Unemployment rate didn't change. Participation rate stayed about the same. So everything looks rosy, right? Well, yeah. The numbers that came out today were more of a government-controlled survey. There's another one that comes out. It's called the ADP, and this is surveys of companies that are actually doing employment. So a little bit more boots on the ground. And their figures just came out, and it showed private payrolls rose by about 128,000. So that is a lot lower than they thought. The April was revised down to 202,000 jobs, where it was supposed to be 247. So depending on who you're trusting, it looks like employment's starting to soften. And that's going to get the attention of the Fed very, very quickly. So I know everything is backwards and bad is good and good is bad right now in the market, but we need a reason for the Fed to quit raising interest rates. And employment slowing down and going the other way will do it.
That's one of them.
So, yes. So in a sadistic kind of way, it's positive news.
Well, and thank you for breaking that down, because I think even myself, there's so many inputs. And so what are we supposed to be looking at? Because there was something on this morning where, well, there's 2 jobs for every one person. And it's like, but then we break it down a little differently. It's like, well, it's softening. Okay, so we really got to be intentional with what we're looking at.
Yeah, it's very hard to believe anything out there, whether it's participation or employment or anything else. Just looking at the signs on the door and the people on the street, it's hard to believe that we're not full employed. We're greater than that. Everybody has a job. Everybody has 3 jobs, That's what we're being told, and it's just, sure doesn't feel that way. Sure doesn't look that way. And that's the perfect thing is what do you believe?
Right.
Who do you believe? But the Fed is actively trying to slow down the economy. They think this is going to be fixed by a demand perspective, and that what they're doing is working. It is slowing down. It is slowing down money. We're supposed to stop the $95 billion.
The balance sheets.
Yes. So that's going to come, and there's going to be a lot of moving parts happening by the end of this month. So the effects of all these decisions are going to come to fruition pretty dang quick.
Right. So we sit and be patient, continue to stay the course.
Yes. And let's look forward to something happening.
Okay.
Something.
We'll see some action. So thanks for joining us another episode of Black and White Market Minute right here on Life Planning 101. Matt Ervin and Aaron Kennedy. Y'all have a wonderful day.
Thank you for joining us for Life Planning 101, brought to you by Kennedy Financial Services. If you have questions, you can email them to lifeplanning@kennedy-financial.com. Be sure to tune in next week for more Life Planning 101. The opinions expressed herein are those of the firm and are subject to change without notice. The opinions referenced are as of the date of publication and are subject to change due to changes in the market or economic conditions and may not necessarily come to pass. Any opinions, projections, or forward-looking statements expressed herein are solely those of the author, may differ from the views or opinions expressed by other areas of the firm, and are only for general informational purposes as of the date indicated. Securities offered through Calton & Associates Incorporated, a registered investment advisor, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Smart Money Group LLC. Kennedy Financial Services and Smart Money Group LLC are separate entities and are not owned or controlled by Calton & Associates Incorporated.